what momentum basically is movement. When you actually start moving towards your goal or moving to what you want to achieve, whatever you've set for yourself, be it at your job, be it in your family, in your relationship, be it whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, momentum is very, very important. Now, once you've gained momentum and you're going, let's say it's gym, and you've started going to gym, you want to fix your body, you want to get it right, you've gained the momentum to go, what then? And this is the very important part that people are quite lazy to do. And I understand why people get lazy, because you sometimes feel like, but wait, I've already started living my dream. Like, now you expect me to do more work once I've already started. I had to get myself through fear to start doing this, and now you want me to do the next thing. But the truth of the matter is, momentum is important. The reason why people are very unhappy with their lives is because they don't see growth. Remember, human beings are designed to grow. That's why from a young age, you're growing. There's never a year where you stop growing or aging. Like, okay, this year, I was only 11 years for 5 years. No, you have to continue growing. It's by design, that's how we are. And we get gratification, we get excitement, we get fulfillment through growth. It's the truth. If you look at anybody who's miserable, they've stopped growing. Look at people that are suffering from lots of mental issues. Behind it all, they've stopped growing. I feel stagnant in life. I feel like I'm pushing, but I'm not getting results. I feel like my efforts are not being rewarded. I feel like the walls are closing, and I feel like I'm moving backwards. I feel like so many people that are experiencing so many issues, the truth behind those issues is that they're depressed. It's not because it's not what they wanted to do. A lot of people go and study what they wanted to study. They get their dream job. Bam, they're now sad. What happened? They stopped moving, momentum. And how do you measure that momentum? Why is it so important for you to keep moving? Why do we emphasize it? Because one, when you keep moving, when you keep growing, it actually makes you happier. That's the big secret behind it. Growth makes you, on any scale, growth makes you happy. That's the big secret. Growth makes you, on any scale, growth makes you happy. I'm currently on a journey, to be quite honest and raw with myself. I've been training for about 3 years, and in my first year of training, I got amazing results. In my second year of training, I sort of maintained, which is also quite good, because that's growth in some respect. You're growing in you maintaining whatever goal it is that you're doing. And then in my third year of training, I was like, oh snap, I did grow, I did maintain, but now I'm here. Am I going to maintain again for a third year? And to be quite honest, I got, you could call it gym depression, where I walked in the gym and I was like, yeah, why am I here? Like, that's it. I'm not interested. And what was going on with me? Was it that I didn't want to gym? Was it that gym was not my goal? The big thing was I stopped growing. Exactly what happened. And you know why we stopped growing, or when we stopped growing? It's going to sound crazy, but it's very simple. Very, very simple. The reason we stop growing is because we don't measure, or we stop measuring. The moment we stop measuring, that's the moment we stop growing. Anywhere you stop measuring, you stop growing. That's when it is. And the whole thing behind it is we find ourselves so many times so busy with so many different things. You ask somebody, what's your schedule like? Oh my goodness, I'm so busy. I've got this going, I've got that going, this. But then at the end of the day, you ask them, did you achieve all those goals that you're so busy with? They didn't achieve anything. Why? They weren't measuring. They don't know. They were just busy. I had a lot going on, but you weren't measuring. So how do you know that you're actually busy? I introduced a system in my own company called KPIs, Key Performance Indicators. And that system was all about measurement. And upon giving that system, I then realized that there are many duties that people are saying that they're doing, but in actual fact, the duties don't add any value. They don't do much. And that you see through measurement. The same way with me at gym. There were so many things. I would get to gym and I'd walk for 2 hours. Because I was just like, I've had enough. Like, I'm just here, let me just walk. I'd walk on the treadmill for 2 hours, and my legs, nothing would change. Nothing would happen. Why? I'm not measuring. There are no measurements. I'm just walking. I'm just at gym. It's just another way of me. You need measurements. You need to measure. Measure often. measure, 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 measure. Whatever it is in your life, measure it. And it's in that growth that you'll see excitement. It's in that growth. So I implore you today that once you've gotten the momentum or whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, if in gym you want to achieve this thing, put measurements to it. Reassess, re-look at the strategies. Is my strategy working? If I said to myself that each Sunday I'm going to be going to church, am I growing spiritually or am I just sitting there in the pew? Look at the strategy. Reassess the strategy. Is it working for me? How can I change it? Put KPIs on yourself. Indicators, key performance indicators, and say, this is what I want to achieve. And based on that, the whole thing about happiness is it lies in growth. So many people that are not happy with their life, if you had to decoy, desimplify what's going on, the true thing behind it all is that they are not growing. They are not growing. So many times we find that people that are very wealthy, doing exceptionally well, are unhappy. So many times we find that. And when you ask, why are you unhappy? They'll tell you, well, I have all this money, or I have this business, it just brings me money every month, but in my life I'm empty. There's nothing, there's no growth, there's no movement in my life. And we find joy and satisfaction in movement, in better relationships, bettering the way we communicate with our loved ones. And the truth of the matter is, it's not only based on your hardcore things. No, it's based on everything. Measure everything. Measure your friendships, yes. Am I adding value to my friends? When my friends met me and now, have their lives improved? Have they learned something from me? Measure those things, it's important. A lot of the times when I sit down with some of my team members and we're going through KPI reviews, sometimes we scratch stuff out. We're like, actually, this is not working. Scratch this KPI, let's replace it with something. We do that with our workplaces. So many people at work do that. A lot of people know those systems, but in your own life, you don't. Key out your most important things. Key them out. So what I did is I wrote down everything that I think is most important to me. And in that I wrote down, what do I have to achieve to assure that that thing can actually come to pass? And in that, I've got my KPIs. Every decision is well calculated, okay? This, I'm doing it for this reason. This, and if it's not working, what do we do to KPIs? We replace them or remove them. That's what we do. And as you do this, you'll realize that there's some things in my life that are not working. There's some things in my life that actually shouldn't be doing. And in your KPIs, be so smart as to allocate time to it. Be specific in it. To say, I'm going to spend an hour a day at gym. And I'm going to do this and that and this. And this is the result that I expect from it. I'm going to spend 8 hours at work. This is the result that I expect from it. Human beings were created for momentum. So measure, 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 measure everything. It's only through measurements that you'll really be able to grow.